Rainbow Friends. You either love it or hate it. Just take these guys as an example. I mean, seriously though, literally no one in this comment section or under this comment was on the fence, on the cusp of liking or hating it. They were either me, greatly defending the game with their life, or talking bad about the game, which I don't blame them, because obviously I've seen a fair share of criticizing the game. But again, I can't blame them because the first chapter was not that good. I'll admit, to most people at least. My only defense for the game, truly, is the second chapter is much better than the first one. And a lot of people don't like the game because it's one, child targeted, not scary, and just a whole bunch of things, which is primarily what I'll be covering. Okay, for my first point, a lot of people think that it's very marketable and only for children, as are majority of Roblox games, considering mostly children are playing them. And I agree, it is very child targeted. It's not scary, it's a mascot horror, which makes the characters marketable, as well as appealing to younger Roblox players, which is a lot. One major argument point for a lot of people that don't enjoy Rainbow Friends is that it is not scary. And I think it's like that because it's not really trying to be. It's trying to be more appealing to children, considering they can't handle horror, I guess. You have to think now these kids are growing up terrified of Garten of Banban and Skibidi Toilet. The only thing I like about Rainbow Friends is it's fun. You can play with other people and it's fun. A lot of people don't like the premise of Rainbow Friends because it's just fetch quest. And I agree. That's basically all it is. But that's fun. Like, when you're scrolling on TikTok and you're swiping each video and you go, ooh, quick serotonin hits, I'm gonna scroll on to the next one so I can get more. That's how it feels. You want to keep collecting those items, you want to get your coins, you want to get all of that stuff. And another game that has fetch quests that I will admit is not good, Garten of Banban. And I can say that I've played it because I have a video about it. Albeit I was exhausted, but I still played it. So, Garten of Banban is one of those games that has absolutely no passion put into it. Okay, I'm not trying to get a cease and desist sent to my house by Euphoric Brothers themselves, so I'm just gonna say there's definitely some passion put into it considering they have made other games before. So, and I'll admit, Rainbow Friends, especially the first chapter, didn't really have any passion put into it, but you can tell that the second chapter is so much more because the animations are more polished and there's like actual scenes, and I'll get into it later, but it's just much better than Garten of Banban, which, in my opinion, entirely scrambled together, made solely to be marketable and appealing to children. I believe that most, if not all, games and creating in general should be made with passion. That is why I do half the things I do, because I do them out of passion. And I enjoy it. Because I'm passionate about that stuff. That's why I'm doing this right now. That's why I'm sitting here talking to a computer. But games, they should have passion. And Garten of Banban, it doesn't really have that. Like, I'm sure the Euphoric Brothers do have at least a bit of passion for that, but it just doesn't feel like it. Though, Rainbow Friends Chapter 2, it does feel like it, or at least in my opinion, someone who's played the first chapter, because if you compare the two, like, at all, you can see they're very similar to each other, but Chapter 2 is so much better, because, like I was saying earlier, the animations in Chapter 2 are so much more polished. The first time I played, when I saw that garage open, and blue and green walked out, I was, whoo, what? Like, it's so much more smooth than anything in the first one, and I really appreciate what they did with that. as well as the cutscenes, which is what those animations are seen in, they give reasons for you to be doing the fetch quest instead of just Red being like, "Hey, can you pick that up for me? I'll let you go if you pick that up," you know? And it was also very interesting to introduce a new character that was trying to break into the facility, theme park, whatever you want to call it, because this guy is very suspicious and he knows Red. He doesn't like Red. And despite that, he's still very suspicious and seemingly against us as players because he tells us to do stuff and then is like, "Oh, I didn't think that'd work." So he's kind of just telling you to do stuff that could be pointless in the end and not let you out whatsoever, or even keep you trapped in there for even longer. But it was interesting. I'm sad that I didn't get to see a twist with him where he betrays us, but it's still interesting. I like that they added someone new. As well as new friends. You get new rainbow friends. Oh my god. It's like the name of the game, Rainbow Friends. Basically, one thing that I really admire about Chapter 2 is it is a lot harder when you're first playing it and trying to learn what everything does and where everything is, basically all that. Because for me, personally, it took me a few tries to actually beat the game because there were like new characters introduced that work together against you and against the box, and it's just a lot harder. Like, you go anywhere near the teal guy, you're gonna die. You go in a box near the teal guy so you don't die, he can't really do anything about it, but if anyone else is near you, you're dead. You're gone. You're just that's it. As well as the yellow one. That is really interesting in my opinion because unlike green or blue, where when you're caught you die immediately, but instead you actually have a chance when you're caught. And you have to jump like not perfect, but you gotta jump in one specific spot, you know? Last but definitely not least, the coaster. That end is so I love it so much, and that's part of the reason I keep replaying this chapter 2 because the coaster is just really enjoyable. Like you hardly even do anything. You just have to boop, press a button, and then you live. But I just enjoy the coaster. I enjoy the rooms and the scenery and whatever. It's really nice, and I'm glad that they did that.